say it was a premeditated assault targeting people of color and immigrants. The trial is set for next year. Police say the driver involved in a serious crash with a cyclist was driving with a suspended license. Officers were called to the collision near the intersection of Dugald and Murdoch Roads around 5:30 yesterday morning. A 23-year-old cyclist was found injured in a ditch and rushed to hospital in critical condition. Police say his condition has improved, but he remains critical. They say the 27-year-old driver of the truck had a suspended license at the time of the crash. Winnipeg's Pan Am pool is set to close for more than a year, beginning next January for major repairs. The closure is expected to affect swimmers, divers, and other aquatic sports groups that rely on the city's premier competitive pool. CBC's Cameron McLean reports.
For decades, Pan Am Pool has hosted divers, swimmers, and water polo players from across Winnipeg and the country. But next January, the nearly 60-year-old facility is expected to close for major repairs to the main pool, deck, and dive towers. Pan Am is the only pool in the city with a 10-meter high diving board. I spoke to one diving group who says their members are going to have a hard time finding somewhere else to practice.
It's a somewhat devastating.
Revolution Diving Club coach Ilya Yunanov says there's no comparable facility anywhere else in Manitoba for competitive divers.
We have no other facility in Winnipeg or Manitoba of that kind that provides everything that divers would need, proper tank, proper depth, dryland and things like that, all the features and equipment that we require to coach and produce results.
The city says some portions of the building, including the East Training Tank, will stay open for select user groups during construction. But other aquatic organizations say the closure will still create major disruptions. The St. James Seal Swim Club is already relying heavily on Pan Am. Coach Josh Colden says that's because the St. James Civic Center pool is currently closed for upgrades.
We're looking at a potentially massive disruption to all aquatic sports. I can speak my expertise into competitive swimming, where we really rely on that building to host competitions of all levels and training in both pools.
Colden says the closure could also affect competitions hosted in Winnipeg. Several other city pools are also closed or recently underwent repairs, including Seven Oaks. Councillor Vivian Santos, who chairs the Community Services Committee, says the city is trying to stagger projects to reduce the impact on users.
We're not working on Pan Am until we ensure that St. James and Seven Oaks is opened and used for the public.
The upgrades are expected to cost $6 million. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
All right, Riley's in now. Riley, I don't know if it was the wishing, the hoping, the wooing, but it feels like spring finally.
Yeah, we've turned the page across southern Manitoba, Brittany. Still a bit cooler, particularly into northeastern parts of the province, but drier air mass moving in, some temperatures that, still below seasonal, but something closer to that seasonal mark at least. And this does signal a trend that will continue as we get not just through the next 7 days, but through the next 10 plus days. I'll have more on that coming up a little bit later in the show. 11 degrees in Winnipeg this afternoon, closer to 14, 15 in southwestern Manitoba. Normally for this time of the year, we should be closer to the 18-degree mark. So we're under that dry air mass right now. A bit of instability starting to build back into Saskatchewan. That's pushing some cloud cover into western parts of the province, and still some lingering flurries along the Hudson Bay coast and into parts of northeastern Manitoba. That will continue to have an impact. This is all the same low that the north is getting now that brought us some of that flurry activity in the south earlier in the week. So staying above freezing or so across southern Manitoba. 1 degree in Winnipeg, a few clouds through the overnight hours, light winds, partly cloudy to start, and then we're trying for 15 degrees tomorrow afternoon. A mostly sunny sky. Things look up from here. Brittany, I'll have more on that when I come back.
All right. Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
From his signature Punjabi beats to his modern hits, Diljit Dosanjh is heating up the stage tonight at Canada Life Centre, and 2 Winnipeg Superfans are going to be going all out to pay homage to one of his iconic looks. More on that ahead. A Manitoba team won gold at the Youth Bowl Canada National Championships. The 5-pin tournament brought teams from across the country to Winnipeg over 3 days. Along the way, one Manitoba player pulled off an extraordinary feat, a perfect game. CBC's Cameron McLean reports.
Before Logan Newton played the last game of the Youth Bowl Canada National Championships, he and his teammate Tanner Barber had already won gold for Manitoba in the senior boys doubles division. But one day earlier, Newton made tournament history. The Winnipeg bowler rolled a perfect 450-point game at Dakota Lanes, only the second ever recorded in the 62-year history of the national championships.
It felt really surreal. I didn't honestly understand how, to extent how rare it is until it actually happened. And it's just, looking back at it now, it's awesome.
The two 17-year-olds have bowled together here at Rossmuir Lanes for years. For Barber, this is his first time winning gold.
So satisfying to finally get it done. We've been trying to make a provincial team for the longest time now, and I've been coming silver to him for years and years and years. And now I finally get to be on a team with them, and we got the job done.
Newton says sharing the moment with his longtime teammate made the win even more meaningful.
It's even better when you're bowling with doubles and a partner. To do it with your partner, it's even better for lifetime best friend.
Logan's father, Jamie Newton, coached the Manitoba team to victory. He says rolling a perfect game in 5-pin bowling, a uniquely Canadian version of the game invented in Toronto, is even more rare than its 10-pin cousin.
Not very common. Perfect game in 10-pin 300 is still an amazing feat. They're just a lot more common.
He says the team performed well under pressure.
They excelled when it really mattered. Lots of big shots along the way, and yeah, I'm really excited and so proud of the boys.
After months of competition, including 21 games over the last 3 days, Logan Newton and Tanner Barber won the national title in front of a hometown crowd. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A nonprofit dedicated to feeding people in Winnipeg officially opened its new location. Every day, more than 700 people turn to Agape Table for a meal. The new 10,500 square foot facility is located at 350 Furby Street. That's just 2 doors down from the church basement it was operating out of for the last 8 years. It says the need to provide daily food for Winnipeg's most vulnerable and marginalized has never been greater.
May this building bring nourishment to those in need and comfort to those who are struggling with all of the challenges that life brings them.
The group says having its own building will allow them to extend hours and services and bring back some cancelled programs. One of the biggest names in Punjabi music, Diljit Dosanjh, is performing in Winnipeg tonight, and 2 of his biggest fans will be sitting in the front row. CBC's Mike Arsenault has more.
Punjabi superstar Diljit Dosanjh is performing in Winnipeg at Canada Life Centre Thursday. He's one of the biggest names in Punjabi music and is drawing large crowds on the Canadian leg of his tour. Trimanpreet and Jobinpreet Singh Rakra are counting the seconds until he gets on stage.
I'm also very excited because when I was young I used to hear his music, and at my school, Dushmay School, I used to perform Bhangra on his music.
I like his lyrics and the beat exactly same for him.
This isn't the first time the two have been up close to see Dosanjh. When the singer performed at Canada Life Centre in 2024, Trimanpreet and Jobinpreet were invited on stage to dance with him.
It was pretty fun, we were excited, and that's what we were hoping for.
Dosanjh has released more than a dozen albums over his career spanning 2 decades. He's also an actor in Hindi and Punjabi cinema. Dosanjh turned heads as the first turban-wearing Indian artist to walk the Met Gala in New York in 2025. These 2 superfans are paying homage to Dosanjh's iconic Met Gala outfit at this year's concert. Their father, Parampreet Singh Rakra, says a lot of work went into replicating the look.
Even though this dress was the copy of the artist, but it took a lot of effort, right? So the whole dress, in order to arrange everything, took almost 1 month and 1.5 months.
The outfits are the spitting image of Dosanjh's Met Gala attire, from the jewelry down to the cape. And these superfans hope their favorite artist will notice them again, like he did at the show in 2024.
I will be hoping to go on the stage again because we put so much efforts on these dresses, and hopefully we go on the stage again.
The boys say a lot of their schoolmates are going to the concert too, and if all goes as planned, they can show off their dance moves and their outfits on stage at Canada Life Centre. Mike Arsenault, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Okay, the outfit, the jewels, just incredible. Could you imagine if they get pulled up a second time?
Busy night in downtown Winnipeg.
It is going to be a busy night. Lots of people out taking a walk, getting out on their bikes already because, man, it's different than it was a few days ago.
Just wait until you see the temperature trend over the next week and a half. I think if you like the warmer temperatures, the more spring-like weather, you're going to like what you see in the forecast tonight. Let's start with our townwide yard sales forecast again. I know I did this last week, and I thought we'd keep the momentum going and keep it going because we do have some spring townwide yard sales happening this week. Couple in Westman happening for you in both Souris and McCreary on Saturday. Looking at a mix of sun and clouds. Bit sunnier by the time we get into the afternoon, but some clouds early on, 11 for McCreary, 13 for Souris. And couldn't forget that it's also giveaway weekend in Winnipeg as well this weekend as well. So maybe not a town-wide yard sale, more like a citywide giveaway. Saturday into Sunday, looking at a mix of sun and clouds into Saturday, sunnier into Sunday, and temperatures around 14 degrees. So whether you're going to buy something at a yard sale, you're looking for something free on the curb, should be a good weekend for that across much of south and central Manitoba. Okay, looking at the 10-day temperature trend, this is our guide of where things are headed. As I always say, not necessarily a forecast because, I mean, once you get out to about here, there can be a lot that changes in between now and the end of this. So this takes us through the May long weekend. So, I mean, a little bit of a cooler than seasonal weekend ahead with those 11, 14 degree highs. But you'll notice once we get into next week and into the long weekend, temperatures consistently staying above the 20 degree mark. And that is something by the time we get to this part of the calendar is close to or even just above seasonal for this time of the year. So we are starting to get into more of that spring air as opposed to that departing cooler weather that we have. All of that was the result of this area of low pressure that's now parked over Hudson Bay. This is still being slightly menacing with some windy conditions and some scattered flurries into northeastern parts of the province. High pressure close to the surface, though, has kept much of western and southern Manitoba clear and sunny through the day today. That trend will continue. Bit of extra cloud cover first thing in the morning. And then as the jet stream kind of cuts through the southern part of the province through southwestern Manitoba, this could introduce a little bit of instability as we get through late Friday into southwestern Manitoba. Anywhere along the international border, I think, has a slight chance of seeing some showers as we get through tomorrow evening. Then we're back into some drier air once again as we get through Saturday, save for maybe a couple of scattered flurries here and there as we get through the back half of Saturday. So what this is translating into, really not much to write home about. Up to 5 millimeters, I think, on the high end into parts of southwestern Manitoba. This particular model giving us about a trace or so. So just prepare for maybe a few sprinkles tomorrow evening in Westman. Temperatures first thing in the morning, 4 degrees in Winnipeg, 5, 6s in the western part of the province, up to 15 tomorrow, Brittany into Winnipeg, and all the way up to 17s by the time we get into early next week once again.
All right. And a good reminder, Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Well, this looks like a good catch here on the Assiniboine River today. We have much more ahead right after this. Stay with us. Health authorities worldwide are working to prevent the further spread of Hantavirus. They're now contacting passengers who disembarked from the Dutch cruise ship that reported an outbreak. The World Health Organization stresses that the risk to the public is low. Chris Brown has the latest from London.
With a global hunt underway to track the movements of anyone who might have been exposed to hantavirus on the Hondius cruise ship, the World Health Organization is underscoring the risk to public health is low.
I want to be unequivocal here. This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship.
But this strain of hantavirus, typically found in South America, can be passed between people who have close contact. So there's concern where the ship is expected to dock on Sunday in Tenerife on the Canary Islands. Everyone's worried because they have family at home, and the last thing they want is for the virus to spread further, said this port workers' union representative. The strain also has a long incubation period, up to 6 weeks.
It's possible that more cases may be reported.
The voyage began in Argentina and headed northwards. Authorities believe a Dutch couple on board had visited areas in South America where the virus might have been present in rats. One of them died on the ship, the other in South Africa, and a German woman also died on board. The WHO helped evacuate 3 people when the ship stopped off Cape Verde and airlifted them to the Netherlands. British expedition guide Martin Anstey is among 5 other people confirmed or suspected of being infected. 4 Canadians remain on the ship. We now know 2 others got off on the island of St. Helena and flew home before the full extent of the outbreak was known. They've been told to self-isolate, as has another Canadian who was not on the ship but was on the same flight.
I've been in touch with my counterparts in the Netherlands, in the UK, and in Spain this morning so that we are staying coordinated.
As for the 100 or so people still on board, authorities say they're in good health, although some are stressed as they remain quarantined in their cabins. Thankfully, everyone is doing well and we're healthy, said this Turkish passenger. The tracing efforts now being undertaken by at least 12 countries are focused on anyone who might have sat next to a potentially infected person on a flight or had a cabin near them on the ship. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
We have reaction to a CBC News exclusive. It was about the federal government planning changes to speed up approvals for pipelines and other natural resource projects. Kate McKenna broke the story, and she has the latest from Ottawa.
Possible legislation could be coming
Possible, yeah. The government House Leader confirms reporting by CBC News. The federal Liberals will propose changes to make it faster to approve big projects like pipelines.
We have a lot of work to do to continue progress on reforming a regulatory process, make sure everyone is heard, but also make sure they go faster. I don't think that's a secret.
We're moving forward at speed, but we're doing it in the right way. Consultation with Indigenous partners, with provinces, with all stakeholders.
For years, industry has warned things take too long to be approved in Canada, and it's slowing down growth.
Having a long timeline adds costs. It adds capital costs, interest costs, and it makes us less competitive. And so it has been a priority of industry.
Declare part 2, including the schedule.
Mark Carney promised to fix it, passing a new law last year allowing some projects to be fast-tracked. But these new changes are said to apply to all projects. The Conservative leader poked fun at how long approvals are taking.
I have to begin by apologizing for my late arrival. I jumped into my Uber and I asked him to drive at speeds not seen in generations. He immediately hit the brakes.
Conservatives have criticized the Liberals for being all talk and no action.
CBC is reporting that the Liberals will change the rules for resource development and pipeline approvals to allegedly try and speed them up. But forgive me, we've been here before. Last year they promised big projects at speeds never seen before. If the minister was right, we'd have projects coming out of everywhere.
If he took the cotton out of his ears, he would have heard there was a pipeline being built from Taylor to Gordondale. He would have heard there was an expansion of the largest pipeline system in British Columbia. He would have heard there was $8 billion just being spent in Goose Bay.
But environmental lawyers fear any new changes risk eroding protections.
They have, through a bunch of policy measures, have already eroded federal impact assessment to the point that it no longer resembles the kind of informed decision-making that we once saw.
Sources say the government plans to consult before making any legislative change. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
The leaders of more than 240 Mexican businesses are taking part in a major trade mission in Canada right now. Their goal? To expand economic ties between the two countries amid U.S. tariffs and trade uncertainty.
The opportunities are enormous. The moment is urgent.
We want to work very closely with Canada, not just in this year, but the next 10, 20, or 50 years.
More than 1,000 meetings are being held in Toronto and Montreal. They involve Mexican and Canadian businesses in many sectors, including transportation, pharmaceuticals, and tech. Senior officials from both countries will also discuss the pending review of the Canada-US-Mexico agreement. The ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. seems to have been shattered. The U.S. military says it intercepted Iranian attacks on 3 American ships in the Strait of Hormuz and retaliated by targeting Iranian military facilities it says were responsible. Iran disputes that, saying it was the U.S. that violated the truce by targeting an Iranian oil tanker and another ship entering the crucial waterway. And it's not the only front in the Mideast facing renewed hostilities. Israel has launched a deadly new attack on the Lebanese capital. Tom Perry has details on that.
We've been seeing images out of Beirut today of the cleanup after that Israeli strike in the southern part of the city. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, went on social media yesterday to say that he had ordered the strike along with his defense minister, and they were targeting a senior Hezbollah commander. Now, the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, said today they killed Ahmed Ali Balut, the commander of Hezbollah's Radwan force. Now, this was the first attack on Beirut since the ceasefire was agreed to last month, but Israel has been going after targets in southern Lebanon on a daily basis since that ceasefire was agreed to. We saw more attacks in southern Lebanon today. Of course, we've seen villages flattened there, more villages where people have been told to evacuate because the IDF is still going after Hezbollah militants. Lebanon's health ministry says more than 120 people have been killed in the last week alone. And we heard from the IDF today saying that one of its soldiers was seriously injured yesterday in a Hezbollah drone strike. This, of course, happening at a time when a ceasefire is supposed to be in place. Now, as this is happening, we heard yesterday from Benjamin Netanyahu, who was responding to reports that Israel was taken by surprise when Donald Trump came out and said that he was close to a deal with Iran to end the war there. There's reporting that Israel was in fact preparing for an escalation in the fighting. Netanyahu says that he and Trump are in contact on an almost daily basis.
There is full coordination between us, no surprises. We share common objectives, and the most important objective is the removal of enriched material from Iran, all enriched material, and the dismantling of Iran's enrichment capabilities. President Trump believes he can achieve this one way or another. However, we are prepared for every scenario.
So that was the Israeli prime minister saying that he's in contact with Donald Trump on a regular basis, and that despite reporting to the contrary, he and the U.S. president remain on the same page when it comes to the war in Iran. Tom Perry, CBC News, Jerusalem.
A team of Ontario researchers is putting some names and faces to the victims of a centuries-old tragedy. The anthropologists used DNA technology to identify sailors from the ill-fated Franklin expedition to the Canadian Arctic in 1845. Thomas Dagg has details on what the science revealed.
Here we are at the stern of the ship.
A Canadian mystery buried deep in the Arctic.
What you see here are 2 brass cannon.
Sir John Franklin's failed expedition has baffled researchers since the 1800s. Now, using skeletal remains and DNA, University of Waterloo anthropologists have identified 4 more sailors from that doomed mission, providing personal stories and new insight.
We know in broad strokes what happened to the Franklin expedition. What we don't fully understand is why what happened happened.
After the British Navy's HMS Erebus and Terror got stuck in ice while exploring the Northwest Passage, all 129 crew members died. Among them, Harry Pegler and John Bridgens. Once brought to life in this fictionalized TV drama, both men's remains have now been identified.
Harry Pegler's sister's great-great-granddaughter was a perfect match. So we confirmed this was Harry Pegler.
Years after taking samples in Nunavut, researchers found potential descendants who were asked for their own DNA.
I got the news from Dr. Stenton's team that, bingo, we've got a match. We've been reporting it.
Rich Preston, a news anchor in London, recently found out his relative was once a steward on Erebus.
He is my great-great-great uncle. That's the connection.
And what went through your mind when you found out?
I thought, this is crazy. And to know that I had a connection to it was really interesting.
Meaningful, too, for historian Ken McGugan, who wrote the book Searching for Franklin. He says each piece of the story is worth exploring.
To figure out who was where and what exactly happened, because as I say, this is so important to Canadian history.
DNA has helped identify 6 sailors so far. Generations have passed, with more answers still to come. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, Toronto.
After months of heckling and name-calling, Manitoba's Speaker of the House introduced some new rules. In just a few minutes, we'll have more on what's behind the lack of civility in provincial politics and what's at stake in restoring it. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Alberta's separatist movement is facing a new controversy this week. This comes after a group associated with the movement was revealed to be involved in a huge voter list data breach. Nearly 3 million Albertans had their personal information uploaded to a publicly accessible online database. Jason Kenney was among them. The former Alberta Premier spoke to Power and Politics about the violation of privacy.
I'm not the kind of person that walks around in fear, but knowing the crowd that would have seen that information and circulated it, it was concerning. I know out of that ecosystem, I have received no shortage of very weird threats over the past few years. But it just takes one person who really believes that and acts it, and we've seen this in other countries. So I do take that seriously. I'm taking some prudent steps in terms of personal security. But I'm also concerned about like 3 million Albertans whose personal information was released. What about the women who are victims of domestic violence, whose aggressors can now much more easily get access to where they live, where they're at, journalists or others. So this is a huge data breach, which I think needs to be taken very seriously.
And you can watch the full Power and Politics interview with Jason Kenney on cbcnews.ca. All right, Riley is in now. And Riley, I know you promised that it was coming, that spring was on the way. We did need that slow melt. We've talked about that a lot. But it is nice to feel that sunshine out now.
Just breathe. Just breathe in a little bit of fresher air. We did. Yeah, and things looking a lot more spring-like from here. We could use the spring showers to go along with this as we get into the growing season. Let's start with your dog walking forecast. No showers in the forecast, at least if you're a morning dog walker. If you are in Westman, though, into the evening, you might get a few sprinkles, so just take that into consideration. Here's Jimmy. Thank you, Melissa, for sending this picture in a 12-year-old pug mix. And as she says, very good boy. Thank you for sending this picture in. I could use your spring dog walking photos. I think I've exhausted all of the photos with the booties and some of the more winter-like scenes. So if you got any spring ones for me, please send them my way to talkback@cbc.ca. So up to 15 degrees in Winnipeg tomorrow afternoon. Could be a little bit breezy at times, and that will elevate the wildfire risk across parts of the province as we get through the day tomorrow. So this is a map from Natural Resources Canada with our fire danger. This is the forecast for tomorrow, and you'll notice it's elevated in the southwestern corner of the province, in extreme southwestern Manitoba in that high range for tomorrow, closer to the moderate to low range for other parts of the west and through the Interlake and the Red River Valley. So just be fire smart. Pay attention to burn bans if that is in place for your municipality, because we could see some windy conditions that could elevate that risk as we get through the afternoon. In terms of precipitation, I was talking about the 10-day temperature trend a little earlier. This is the 10-day precipitation trend, and really not looking at any measurable precipitation across much of southern Manitoba over the next week and a half, maybe 5 to 10 millimeters, according to this forecast model. Of course, things can change. This is more of a guideline, but things remaining on the dry side across the south, at least, as we get through the next week and a half or so, with no major weather systems on our doorstep. So temperatures overnight closer to seasonal. We should be around 4 or 5 degrees across southern Manitoba for overnight temperatures, around 2-3 degrees in southwestern Manitoba, so fairly seasonal. Bit on the cool side through the night tonight, with some cloud coming and going through the night. More like mainly cloudy into parts of the Interlake, for example. Looking at -4 through Flin Flon, the Pas-Océan at -2, -3 in Thompson, and that slim chance of flurries persisting into northeastern parts of the province and along the Hudson Bay coast. Churchill could see some of that wet flurry activity. Thompson, a weak chance of seeing some of that through the afternoon tomorrow at 4 degrees. 7s to 9s, a bit sunnier into northwestern parts of the province, and double digits in southern Manitoba through the afternoon. A bit of extra cloud cover first thing in the morning. I think that does push its way out, so we could see some cloud to start, and then we'll get back into some sunshine. And again, a chance of some showers, Brittany, late afternoon into southwestern Manitoba, and temperatures a lot closer to seasonal tomorrow as well.
All right, thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Manitoba's Speaker of the House introduced a new rule on Monday that prohibits MLAs from calling each other certain names in the legislative chamber. That comes after months of heckling, name-calling, and a decline in decorum in the chamber. In this piece, produced by Victoria Potashnik, CBC Manitoba looks back at what caused the shift toward a lack of civility in provincial politics and what's at stake in restoring it.
You have to recognize that the Assembly is a place of discourse.
So the Premier is clearly lying and saying that's the Premier is saying. Order, please. Order, please.
Put your hand up anywhere in Manitoba if you got 500 grand for that.
Member, time has expired. Stop the clock again. Order. It's only Tuesday. I don't think everybody's going to make it to the end of the week.
If you're becoming very strong, accusing people of certain poor behaviors.
Order.
If you're showing like close to hatred, then you can't have a democratic discourse. Yes, it does damage democracy.
This Premier himself wants to continue to heckle and bully. And now I know you can't hear it at home, but he's sitting there saying, call him dad, call him dad. I don't know, maybe that's what he gets his members to call him.
Look like the big guy that you always claim to be on that side of the House, Honourable Speaker. When will the Premier face the fact that as a leader, all of those members saying you really can't roll over every Wednesday?
Part of the real problem is the bitter or the animosity between the Premier and the leader of the official opposition, Abi Khan and Wab Kinew.
Kinew compared jousting with Khan with wrestling with a pig, leading Khan to accuse the Premier of racism because Khan is Muslim and pigs are unclean in his faith. Now, Kinew then taunted Khan, telling him it's okay to cry for getting beaten so often during question period. Kinew pointed out that Khan never won the ultimate prize as a CFL player.
The feuding between Kinew and Khan may have started in 2023 with this handshake. Khan said Kinew swore and shoved him. Kinew denied it, calling it a tense verbal exchange. Then Khan became PC leader in April. Kinew never congratulated him.
You don't want to reach out?
No.
Why not?
No one ever reached out and congratulated me.
Khan is expressing some regret over his conduct at estimates.
I think I can always try to act better and be an example.
But he said the Premier started it.
Unfortunately, I was roped in by the Premier.
I would say that has set a tone in the legislature. So I would say the civility has really worsened over the past 2 or 3 years. The lack of civil discourse is not something new.
At the time, Premier Pauly was speaking on the government's proposals to expand French language rights.
You go to the French language debates in the 1980s and the bell ringing done by the Progressive Conservatives so they wouldn't have to attend to the vote. And that was a very vicious time between the NDP under Howard Pauly and Sterling Lyon and the Progressive Conservatives.
Sterling Lyon was not there. Instead, he was sitting in his office expressing his feelings on being expelled from the House for the second time this year.
In Manitoba, we've got 2 parties, one NDP and one Progressive Conservative, who are ideologically a little bit apart from each other. There isn't a lot of central ground between the 2 parties. That doesn't help. The other thing that doesn't help is geography. Is the NDP is primarily city-sitting MLAs, whereas the Progressive Conservatives are primarily outside of the city or rural parts of the province. And so there's a different worldview between the 2 different parties. I can't really say who is more or less guilty.
He appeared to mock a reporter with a disability. Take a look.
Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. Oh, I don't remember.
Donald Trump has really given the green light to a lot of people, both in the US and Canada, to behave towards each other with a lack of civility. And I would say that's been something that's not just Manitoba, but something that's really increased across North America, but also other parts of the globe.
Great, by the way. Really well behaved. Again, Honourable Speaker, we are very grateful for our partnerships with school divisions. We're grateful for our partnership with the superintendent from Pembina Trails School Division, with the board chair.
I would say most recently, Abi Khan's comments about Asagara, the health minister, saying whatever you are, and other things that he said.
A few weeks ago, the NDP accused Abi Khan of making a transphobic remark about Uzoma Asagara, Manitoba's first non-binary MLA. Khan was accused of saying, quote, "You're a terrible person, whatever you are."
I was shocked and appalled to hear such dehumanizing comment had in fact been made in this chamber.
You know, if you go into the legislature, there are often school kids up in the observer gallery.
We welcome you here today.
And it's a poor example for our school kids. There are visitors to Manitoba who want to visit the legislature and see what's happening in our democratic institution. And if our politicians, regardless of the NDP or the Progressive Conservatives, they're behaving that way, it looks very bad for Manitoba.
Order, please. Order! Both leaders need to stop hollering back and forth, and they need to stop it right now.
All right, and a reminder, CBC Winnipeg News at 6 is being preempted Friday due to the NHL playoffs, but you can still find us everywhere you stream CBC. That includes, of course, our YouTube channel, CBC Gem, and select streaming platforms. Still ahead, the sanctuary for strays and the unexpected daily ritual it brings to one Buddhist monk. Plus, Riley's back with the last check on our forecast. Winnipegers' 2026 property tax bills are in the mail. The city says notices have been sent out to more than 240,000 households. The deadline for paying your property taxes is June 30th. Earlier this year, several homeowners raised concerns about their proposed property values. Many areas of the city saw increases, some as high as 18%, leading to worries property tax bills would also go up. You can find more information on property taxes and how to pay on the city's website.
All right, time for your 7-day forecast, and the trend being, as we head through the long range, is temperatures that start to warm up and feel a lot more spring-like as opposed to the early part of the week here. So 15 tomorrow in Winnipeg, maybe a bit breezy at times with that northwest wind. Looking at things remaining a little on the windy side into the early part of Saturday, some cloud, mix of sun and clouds pretty generally across the province, 11 degrees. 14 into Sunday for Mother's Day, a nice bright sunny day. Best chance for getting outside this weekend, I think, if you're looking for a beautiful, beautiful spring day. And then we're back up to 21s and 22s by the time we get to the middle of next week. I have one weather picture for you tonight. Pam took this picture in Wasagaming, Riding Mountain National Park. A nice sunny view there, and I think before long, we'll likely start to see that grass greening up and some leaves on the trees there.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, you can send yours to talkback at cbc.ca. Well, they've become a beloved site just north of Bangkok and an unlikely bond that has now grown and grown.
A Buddhist monk and his pack of pups are lifting hearts daily along a sacred river in Thailand. They're tonight's Daily Lift. Okay, I want to be on that boat. A dozen dogs accompanying the monks as they set off by boat on their morning ritual of giving alms. What started with one small abandoned dog has grown into one of the area's most popular sites. People left more dogs at the temple, and the monks began caring for them.
They're obviously trained really well because they're not jumping in the water, but there are now 20 pups who call the place home. Interest in the temple dogs grew after the story spread online, prompting more people to make offerings along the riverbanks.
Don't love that they were, given up. Hopefully it was for a good reason, but love that they're being so well taken care of.
And they really look like they enjoy that boat ride.
Right? Who wouldn't?
I know, especially if it's sunny out.
Have a wonderful night. Enjoy that sunshine. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.